So, hello everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I am sitting here by myself. Donovan said that he was going to come on, so we'll see if he shows up. I just spoke to him literally like 20 minutes ago, but we'll see. Anyway, I hope you guys are all doing well on this fine Friday afternoon. I wore my sweatshirt. Actually, it's not mine. It's my daughter's sweatshirt. San Francisco State. Here's her alumni shirt because I thought it was going to be cold. It's been cold lately, but it's kind of warm today. So if I start sweating, y'all must and please forgive me for that. I'm going to be here about an hour. I'm going to try to maybe shorten it down a little bit because I'm doing 2 workouts a day, one early in the morning and one in the afternoon where I go walking. So I'm going to try to get out there before it gets too dark. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I got a different mic on today. But nevertheless, the purpose of the Demetra K show is to promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even because we're great people, but we can always strive to do better. Like I said, Big Giant, thank you, hello, and welcome to YouTube and Facebook. You are the other side of the conversation. Not only are you viewers, but you are a participant and family. And I should say Happy New Year to you, by the way. Sorry if there's a little bit of a lag. It'll catch up. Yes, Happy New Year. But if I do share the link and your profile looks like this, please show me that. And then if you're not comfortable, you can go back to that. Just know that no one else can see you but me, not even Donovan if he comes on. I just need to verify that there's no shenanigans. But if I've seen you on here before, you're good. And you just, maybe not presentable. Whatever your reason is, you don't want to show your face. You don't have to do that. Also, it's not that we disagree, it's how we disagree. So for in the comment section and here on the panel, if we could do our best to be as respectful as possible, I'd love and appreciate you for that. So today we're going to be talking about Black Americans that have been told to stay out the streets and to stay away from large crowds. Now, obviously, I didn't want to say too much about what's going on or what happened in New Orleans because, it's kind of a touchy topic, but I'm going to touch on it a little bit. But I want to hone in on a specific story about an 18-year-old. It was, I think from what I heard, it was like 14 to 15 people that were killed in that, what they're calling a terrorist attack. But I want to hone in on Nakaira Cheyenne Nadeau. She was 18. And something her mother said, I think it resonated with a lot of people. So I'm going to get into all of that in just a second. But I want to acknowledge those of y'all who came on. Panther Strike, how you doing? We are doing well. You said, where are the cats today? I don't know. I ain't got no cats. I'm sure Donovan's cats are doing well. I'm sure they're somewhere pretty near and dear to him. Kara, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Michelle, what's going on with you? Tracy, hope you're doing well. Says, dang, caught it from the start. Yes, you did. Mars, how are you doing? And Brother Perry, I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to you as well. Greater achievements. What's going on? Brother Reggie from Japan. I hope you're having a great day. And Candy, what is going on with you? And Tyrone, what's up with you? So anyway, and Jamie, how are you? Let's get into it for sake of time. So anyway, as you guys know, on New Year's Day, rather, in New Orleans, they're calling it a terrorist attack, where a man that is from Houston, born in Beaumont, Texas, by the name of Samsudin Jabbar, he was 42 years old, decided to run I guess it was a truck that he rented off a tour road through a crowd. I think it was like 3 something in the morning, for what I understand. So he decided to run a truck through a crowd and harmed quite a few people. Sounds like it killed about 14 to 15 people. Now, immediately they found out that he was connected to ISIS somehow. He was in Afghanistan years ago. So they said it was a span between like 15 years and from the time he left Afghanistan and now. So they don't know that he would have been sort of a sleeper cell or dormant. They're speculating maybe somehow he got reconnected to ISIS somehow, if indeed that's what it was. They also discovered that he was intending on blowing up some stuff. They found some devices or, homemade things. They said that he apparently went to an Airbnb and made these things. They were able to catch those things in time, but some of you guys might have seen the horrific images and videos of him barreling down was Bourbon Street, so Bourbon and Canal. I saw one video. I didn't see actually the carnage. I just saw the one where people got out of the way, thank God, right? But again, a lot of people did not get out of the way. But as I said, one story really stuck out to not just me, but a lot of people. And I want to say RIP to the people that were harmed in that. And I should also mention the incident that happened at the Trump Towers, where a Tesla truck was blown up. I don't know what the motive is for that, but they said that both of the men were at Fort Bragg, I think it was, at the same time. But they're saying they don't know that there's no evidence that they were connected in any way, shape, or form. They also noted that one of the guys that attempted to assassinate Trump was also from the same, army camp, if you will. So I guess they got to find a little bit more things out about that. Nobody was harmed at the Trump Towers except for the guy that was still in the Tesla truck. Now I'm going to put this up here. Okay, so this is from actually the mother of, I believe you say her name is Nakira. Says, when your parents say don't go anywhere, please listen to them. This was an act of terrorism, and now my baby is gone, y'all. My baby is gone. She is no longer with us. I lost my baby. Just pray for me and my family, please. God, I need you now. Now, it sounds like she was told by her mother. Again, she's 18, but, she's still a kid, right? And I've seen a couple of other pictures and videos of her. She doesn't even look like she was 18. She's like just a little kid, right? So it sounds like she was told not to go out. Of course, New Year's Eve preceded New Year's Day, right? Obviously. So she was told not to go there being to New Orleans, where there's a lot of celebration and a lot of people out there and stuff. But for whatever reason, she did it anyway. Sounds like she went with a cousin and a friend. The cousin and the friend, they were not harmed. But unfortunately, Nakira, she was, they said pretty messed up. She didn't die right away. She died, I guess, when they transported her to the hospital. So again, her mom is issuing a warning like, yo, you need to listen to your parents. So several things came to my mind. And listen, this is not an indictment on the mom or her, any of that kind of stuff. So please don't mistake me in that. But of course, y'all know I don't go to church, but I do adhere to a lot of scriptures in the Bible. And this one says, honor your mother and father as the Lord your God has commanded you to do, so that you may live long and that it may go well with you in the land of the Lord your God is giving you. Deuteronomy 5:16. That one just kept resonating with me because oftentimes you have a lot of people, children, because 18 is still a kid, think I'm grown. I don't need to listen. I'm going to do what I want to do, whatever the case is. Now, obviously, her mom is a lot older. She has actually had, 6 kids. Nakira, I was one of 6 children. Her mom's a nurse and all that. And Nakira graduated this year. She was going to be going to school in January to follow in her mother's footsteps as a nurse. But obviously her mom has a little bit more wisdom on, than her. And so her mom knew best, especially when you're going out on New Year's Eve. There's a lot of things going on. I mean, you got people shooting guns in the air, out here in Houston. They caught somebody filmed them and their children firing, automatic weapons, just, non-discriminatory everywhere, right? So they're trying to find them. So there's a lot of things that could happen. But then I also thought about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad warning us to stay away from large gatherings and crowds, right? There's a lot of things going on, and especially in mixed company. Now, I should say that Samsud, I think that's how you say his name, he is Muslim. Of course, there's been a lot of back and forth, whether he's Black American, whether he's Muslim. Sounds like, obviously, Islam, the family started practicing the religion when he was young. So I don't know if they were converts or whatever it is. I don't have the full story on that. Forgive me, but that's not even really my point of contention here. We are told to stay away from large crowds. And I found this clip of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, obviously one of his many plethora of speeches. Let me take her down. So hopefully you guys saw that. Let me remove her. And I want to put up Farrakhan. So here we go.
And if I were you, I'd come in. Don't hang in these streets. Brothers and sisters, don't hang in the streets. If you got someplace to go, go. That's right. And when it's time to get up and get home, get out of there. Yes, sir. You should not be on the streets after midnight. I'm just warning you, and this you can do what you want to do.
So again, that's Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan telling us don't be up in the streets, and especially after midnight, and if you can avoid it at all, right? It says if you got somewhere to go, something to do, go do that and then go home, right? So all of these things really, after I heard about it, and I knew I wanted to talk about this for a couple of days, but all of those things really resonated with me because, again, I'm 53 years old. And I tell you guys this a lot, and I'm going to acknowledge you guys that's come on here. I'm 53 years old, and I still listen to my father. My father is 80 years old, and if my dad tells me to do something, then I'm going to do it. It's not going to be, oh, well, why I'm grown, you don't tell me what to do and this, that, and the other. Okay, daddy. Okay, daddy. Yes, daddy. And that's how I speak to my dad. All right, daddy. So I really want to spend some time here with you guys from a parent point of view and a child. I'm both, right? How can we really teach our children these messages of stay up out the street? Don't be hanging in large crowds and gatherings because you got to watch your six, right? And again, nobody would have ever thought that was going to happen. And the authorities are saying they don't know. They believe he was working alone, but who knows, right? Like, we don't know what's going on. They said they really think he was doing it with the anticipation of, I guess, some college game that they had out there. I guess they had it yesterday or recently or whatever it was. They had it. But unfortunately, it got a lot of other people. So we need to have this conversation. What is it that we need to do to really get this message, drive it home to our children, and all of the above? So Donovan, let me actually say hello to all these people. Then I'll give you the floor so we don't get too behind. Let's see who else came on here. Miss White, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well today. Eunice, what is going on? And Happy New Year to everybody. Miss Sweets, how are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Everybody saying hello to Donovan. Pop, how are you? I know you're gonna behave, but some tell me you ain't. But welcome anyway. Valerie, how you doing? Says it's time to hold the military feet to the fire because they truly have more knowledge about both people. Where is NCIS? I don't know. Good question. Freddie B, how you doing? If I didn't already, Michelle W, how you doing? Let's see who else on here. Juggernaut, how you doing? Happy New Year. Long time no see. Nubian Cutie, how are you? Says I'm so glad that I didn't see it. They are trying, y'all. They are definitely trying to desensitize us. Yeah, I only saw the one where everybody got out of the way, but I see people, and I don't know why they're doing that. And it makes me mad. Like, we have this insatiable need to just freak people out. People are showing these videos, the carnage everywhere. And when I see people post it, I just scroll right by it. I'm like, I'm not going to watch it. But I don't know why people are doing it. It's disgusting, if you ask me. Easy, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Let's see. FBA Baby Boomer, how you doing? So I think Tara, like, this is going to have to get more frequent for Black people to get the fear of the Most High in them. Unfortunately, right? S. Williams, how you doing? Says I'm still stuck on the Robert Brooks modern day lynching. Yes, I did a video about it. It's not out yet on the African Diaspora News channel. Hopefully, I'll get my videos back soon, and then you guys will see that on African Diaspora. I think it's actually on Emancipation Media, but I'll let you guys know when. Yes, indeed, Miss Sweet. JJ, how you doing? It says racist congressman now blaming DEI on terrorist attack. Yeah, but yet they want to let all these people in on the H-1B visa, right? All right, let's see who else came on here. Complex Blackness, where have you been? It says out at 3 a.m. Well, yeah, I think it happened like around 3:15. Any, or how about this? How you doing? Put this up here. NE, how about that? Any, I'll say that. I don't understand how can a person say this? Why the exact thing happened in Germany and Montenegro? Did any of these people deserve this? Which is why Black have become vile and toxic here. I hope no one thought I said anybody deserved that, because that's not what I said. I just want to be clear. Okay. Buckhorse, how you doing? Happy New Year to you as well. Let's see. I'm gonna skip on down. CJ, what is going to you? Happy New Year to you. Jermaine, what's going on? It says shout out to you, Miss Demetra from St. Louis. Have a safe New Year and be blessed. And the same to you as well. Maccabi, how are you? I hope I said that right. Maccabi, that's it right. It says time to be vigilant. It's about to get wicked out here. About to already, right? Gary Mack, what's going on with you? All right, I think. And Brother Dom, our triple OG moderator, I hope you're doing well this fine day. W of Israel, how you doing? Said the minister is right. Yep. Lisa too, how you doing? He says greetings to. He said getting ready to head to Galveston to leave my cruise. Oh, you going on a cruise? I'm so envious. I love cruises. I can't wait to go again. All right. Did I make it to the bottom? Danielle, how you doing? Walaikum salam to you. Miss Sweet says, is the Super Bowl in Louisiana this year? Yes. Uh-huh. Hey, Thunder, how are you? Hope you're having a great day. Samuel C, what is going on with you? Happy New Year to you as well. Mad Dog, what is going on? And I got to the bottom. Donovan, what say you?
All right. Welcome, you guys. Happy New Year again to everybody that's out there. This is a very sad topic, but I'm not going to take too much time on it because we have been telling you guys for years now, especially last year in the election cycle, what you need to do in regards to this. And I'm just going to say this as a military person, and I'm not an expert. I'm speculating just like you guys are, but I would almost say from the stuff that I saw in my time in the military, and remember, I was born into the military, so I've been around this a long time. You guys don't know a PSYOP when you see it? You guys don't know a PSYOP when you see it. We saw it in Oklahoma City, Timothy McVeigh.
Well, let me say this too, and y'all, why y'all didn't tell me my microphone sound muffled? I kind of want to back away from any conspiracy theories and stuff like that because you know that they be tripping. So I want to kind of just move away from that. But I get where you're going with that.
Of course. I mean, history always repeats itself. So if we don't want to go into any conspiracy theories, isn't it strange how these guys do all this stuff? And then we're going to move away from that. But I just want to say that little statement there. But nothing new is under the sun. We have been telling you guys, especially in the election cycle, how many times have I said on this show, if you are a single mother raising your family, you need to do something to protect that family. How many times have we said this? A armed society is a polite society. How many times have we said this? Only in the Black community do we tell the Black folks, oh, you don't need nothing to protect yourself, while they're beating us in our heads and all this mass destruction is happening, and we're just supposed to go on like, you know, we're just some strange craven animals and just go on like we don't have any feelings. All these young people that are being hurt, this destruction of the nuclear family by the Democratic Party. The destruction of the nuclear family is basically pushed by one party, which is the Democratic Party, by removing the father out of the home so that the family has no male protection. And then now you have women whose nature is to nurture children and the community. And when you nurture and there's not that balance of having the father in the home, and this is my opinion, then we have a 2 or 3 generations of young people, and I see it all the time, where the parents are friends with the children. They are more worried about being the children's friend than being the damn parent. We've said all this stuff before. This is where we are at today. Why is it that we are so reactive instead of being proactive? This is what we were telling you guys. With what's going on in the climate in the world, it doesn't make any sense, like the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said and the Honorable Louis Farrakhan says, to be in groups as a Black person. But nobody listens to us because, oh man, because when Black people, it's all about a party. It's all about, you know, having a good time. It ain't about real world issues, Demetra. Nobody's worried about that. Oh, y'all crazy. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about until the tragedy actually happens. So I'll leave it at that.
Okay, so y'all said y'all can hear me okay. I know, yeah, sometimes with this microphone, it can do some pretty funky things. Hey, Miss D, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. And I want to say this too. You know, it wasn't just Black people out there. It was a whole host of people from all walks of life. One guy from Princeton was killed, and you know, it was just different people from all walks of life that got caught up. As he, I forget who she is. She's a police chief, I think she is in New Orleans. She said he was. Her words were hell bent on doing what he did, like the most destruction he could cause. They said he barreled down that street, and a lot of y'all who saw the videos or whatever it is, he actually got around a barrier. They said they were doing some sort of construction on it. They had a plan, but they said so did, the guy who did what he did. So he got around those barriers. And if you ever been over there on, French Quarters, Bourbon Street, Canal Street, those streets aren't really that wide. You know what I mean? And usually there's people who are walking around, in the streets. The sidewalks are really small too, right? So there's a lot of people, and I'd imagine too, on New Year's Eve, there was, I don't know, I'd imagine so many people out there. And yes, even after midnight, there's so many people still hanging out because, it's kind of like Vegas. It never sleeps. So I just think, especially the message for us, from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is, separation. We're supposed to be separating, right? Now, I often get made fun of, and I was going to say something about what you said about the single mom type of thing. I don't know if her mom is single, if she had a dad or whatever the case is, but people often make fun of me because I'm like, I don't be hanging around a whole lot of people, crowds, especially unorganized. Like I go to a concert or something like that, but I'm not going to be going to, concerts that are unorganized or where it's just people just everywhere, right? You have a lot of these festivals and things like that. I don't, go to those type of things, but I'm very leery of crowds because you don't know what fool is in that crowd or what, right? So I've always heeded that warning. My dad, he always talks about that, be careful, stay out of large crowds and things like that. So that really, he was just, he didn't, his truck wasn't specific to one person. So let me see what's going on in the comments. Let's see. Complex Blackness says, only in the Black community are we told that the Most High will protect us. No, it will be you preparing that will protect you. Look right at right wings, whites, they arm up. You're right. We've been given told what to do and to how to protect ourselves, right? So a lot of times we think God is going to be this shield. And sometimes I guess maybe he could be. We think it's going to be the shield of protection, but he's already given you the blueprint, told you what to do, to avoid certain things. My pastor said one time, and I never forgot it. He says sometimes people force God, or they try to anyway, force God to give them a miracle. He told a story about a guy. It was in California. He was going to go out to the desert, and he was going to do like Jesus did. He was going to be out there 40 days and 40 nights without nothing to drink or eat. And then he said a couple of days later, they found his body, because he out there going to try to do, first of all, you ain't Jesus, and you going to force God to give you a miracle. He already told you to be wise. Don't be silly, right? So we've already gotten the blueprint. All right. And Easy says, don't be a soft target. There you go. Brother Dine says there were no shots fired. The gunshot sounds were being amplified through the sound system of the venue. And people were being directed what to do. Y'all know what the crisis actor is this. Okay, yeah. So yeah. Do good. How you doing? So yeah, that's a problem. Parents should be guiding their kids instead of just managing them. Also, women only can't raise kids, especially boys. Else, boys, you have to pay a lot of bail and attorney fees. Okay. Yeah, you have to definitely be guiding. Let's see. Thunder says, have Black people specifically been told to stay away from large crowds? Yes, we have. And we've been told that for a very long time. Anais, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. Al says, tell your audience about Jaden Daniels from the Mom and the Phone account. I'll write that down, and I'll get to it if I have a chance. Woo! Lolo, how you doing? Says, I agree with Donovan about this being a psyops. My first thought. Yeah, I mean, that's been a lot of conversation. We just got to be careful of some of the things we say. A lot of platforms frown on conspiracy theory talk. You know what I mean? But I think we all, we hear with that.
Yeah, it's just an opinion. Just an opinion.
Yeah. No, I know you didn't mean anything by it, but some people they allow to do it, some people they don't.
Well, I mean, it's very strange that all of these people have a military background and they were stationed at the same bases and all this other stuff. I mean, as somebody who's in the military, that's not unusual unless they are in a specific type of unit or are doing something of intelligence. And I want to say this real quick before you get back to the comments. You got to keep the people in fear. And Demetri, I want you to expand on this. When you keep the people in fear, what famous book says that? When you keep the people in fear, they will willingly give up their rights. What famous book says that?
That could be any book, but what book says it?
The Communist Manifesto.
Oh, yeah,
You
yeah,
keep
yeah,
the
yeah,
people
yeah.
in fear. You
Yeah,
keep the
yeah.
people in fear, they will willingly give up their rights. And
Yeah.
this is another ploy between Democrats, Republicans. It doesn't matter. White supremacy. They keep us in fear. Out of all the groups in this country, Demetria, what group among any other group is more fearful in regards to things that happen to their community? It's the Black community, because we're the ones that is attacked the most. You keep them in fear.
Yeah, but that, I think that's starting to loosen a little bit too, because we're like, what else we got to lose? You know what I mean? But we should be wise. Absolutely. And TNT 59, how you doing? Says New Orleans hasn't separated a damn thing in 60 years. You say NOA hasn't separated a damn thing in 60 years time. Okay, I don't even know what that means. But welcome anyway. Okay, let's see here. Cooking with Miss D says that nut job was living across the street in the black neighborhood. He was caught on video many times going in and out of his rented house. He was not from the French Quarters. No, he wasn't. He was actually from Houston, born in Beaumont. So yeah. Oh, you say so you say TNT. You says the you talk about the NOI hasn't separated a damn thing in 60 years. Why do you think they call it the Nation of Islam? They are already separate. They telling everybody else to do it since you're so doggone smart. Anyway, Demario, how you doing? Says they're trying to run this like an apartheid state. Okay. All right, let's see who else. CJ says exactly, folks. Don't obey God, but then expect him to show up for them. Make it make sense. Yeah, do what you're supposed to do. Easy says that young lady from Mississippi's body was mangled by the truck. Her friend that was with her described her injuries were horrific. And it's said you talking about what's her name? Nakaira. Is that you talking about? That's what I heard as well. And yes, she did have a mom and a dad at home. So yes.
No,
Mr.
and I
South
just want to
Carolina,
add
how
this.
you doing?
I just want to add this real quick. It's not the issue of mother or whatever. My point was, in the Democratic Party pushes the breaking of the family. The point is, what the Democratic Party, in my opinion, is what they're doing is, by breaking up the family, they're making parents be more friends with their children. It doesn't even matter if she had both parents. If she's not going to listen to her parents, and the parents have, and then this is what's happening by law, by both parties, they've taken the power from the parents. When you can't discipline your children and it's considered abuse. Demetria's 53 years old, which she told me you're 25, so that means you're a damn anyway. But anyway, if you're of that generation, of our generation, by law today, most of our parents would be locked up for child abuse. But this is what happens when you take the power away from the parents. And that's what I'm saying. When these kids think, well, I'm 18 by this magical number, I'm going to do what I want, and you're going to arbitrarily go against your parents because the government says you can, we got a problem.
Absolutely. Thunder says, I've been watching the Houston news, and there have been a lot of standoffs and SWAT incidents. Yeah, y'all be thinking I'm playing when y'all say, where do I go? I don't go anywhere. I get on the plane and go home to California, but I don't really be moving about the streets like that, because it's a lot of people who are just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs out there in the streets. Sagittarius Goddess, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Sunlight, how you doing? Happy New Year to you as well. Eunice says, wow, I'm going to have to read that book. Communist Manifesto. Yes, Karl Marx and Frederick Engels. Pinchard, how you doing? He says, Demetria, go back to your own country. Well, where is that? Where is my own country? Stephen, how you doing? Evening to you as well. OG Patrice, what is going on with you? Easy says, my opinion, say both incidents connected in some way, but they will separate the Vegas one because of his complexion. You know what? We'll probably never know. You know what I mean? Nomi B says they've been using diabolical methods repeatedly, like the poison water in Flint, Michigan. Yeah, Panther, he says fear and anger is to be embraced. Never allow the sight or thought of your oppressor intimidate you. Respond how you are treated and your enemy retreats. Come on now. They tell that to women. They say, don't be walking in, out in public like, you gotta, yeah. somebody want to try you. They like, nah, her. She kind of, she looked like she could take me. Anton Sun God, how you doing? Says my ex alter ego was on X Spaces this morning. And he says Sonny Johnson was talking about Charleston White and our others. Says TY, black people are facing an existential threat from a fascist government, but we're gossiping about BS all the time. Yeah. I saw a couple things Charleston White said. It sounded like he stepped on a beehive somewhere. But yeah, he's right. He says, we do spend a lot of time online gossiping and talking about stuff that don't matter. So, I mean, be mad at him, but, the message is what it is. Michelle, you said some of us are so busy trying not to take orders from other people that we miss sometimes. They're just trying to protect us. Come on now. Brother Reddy says, why the FBI letting the media tour the killer's home straight? Yeah, I saw that. It was some lady up in there. She wasn't like with no official news organization or anything. She just walking around, just giving a tour. And I'm like, that is weird, MC Fact, how you doing? Says, but there are crowds at various places, events, grocery stores, public transportation, school, etc. Yeah, and I think we're really talking about large crowds. I think we got to go to the grocery store and stuff like that. But, just certain places, you got to be careful, especially if they don't have security where they, wanting people down and going through the bags and all that kind of stuff. You have to be leery. You do. I mean, they even do that at Disneyland and Magic Mountain and places like that. They check,
Well, how many of you guys remember, and I know this ain't a political thing, but I'm a political person, the Democrats opened the borders and let people in here with no ID, no background checks, whatever. But if you went to the Democratic convention, you had to have an ID to get in there and all the tickets and all that other stuff. Isn't that crazy? The borders are open, but to get into the DNC convention, you have to have ID.
Yep. Come on now, CJ says even animals know to sit their hind parts down. And yeah, they know how to flee when danger's coming, right? They say study nature. The animals, when something is on the rise, they be the first to get up out of there. What was it? What was it? I'm trying to think of what it was. It was the tidal wave. It's a different word to it. In Indonesia, when it happened, they said the animals was getting the hell up out of there, and people didn't really connect the dots. And then, I can't remember the name of what they call the storm. Forgive me, but then shortly they got hit with all that water. Do Good says yes, Sister Demetria looks. Oh, thank you. No, I'm 50. No, I'll be 54 in April. Don't tell nobody. JJ, how you doing? And Nubian Cutie says, I wish I might try to be my child's friend. Yeah, you got to draw the line. BJ says the rabbit hole runs deep. Manchurian candidates are everywhere. Yes, indeed. All right, so let's see who else is on here so I can catch up. K-Dog, what's going on with you? Says we need to keep a watchful eye on all things. You better believe it. Keep your head on swivel, right? What they say in the military, watch your six. All right. Black Power Forever. Yes, indeed. Buck Horse and Mr. South Carolina says Trump called the speaker confirmation and told Republicans to get in line and confirm Johnson as a speaker leader. Yeah, sounds like he had a little bit of pushback with that.
But he made
tsunami. Yes, tsunami. I could not think of the word.
Yeah. Johnson made it. He will be the speaker coming into the next Congress.
Yeah, they said it was by a narrow margin, though. But yes, hey, Every, I could not think of that doggone word, tsunami. I'm talking about a damn tidal wave, which kind of, sort of, but I think I don't know. Lord Flawless, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, sometimes when you get up there in age, your mind just freezes up. It's like, no, I ain't gonna give it to you. The No Galit Israelite, how you doing? Yep, thank you for that. Okay. Antoinette, what's going on with you? And Larry, how you doing? Says we need to look at how the news people are calling the black man a terrorist, and they refuse to call the white person that tried to blow up Trump Plaza a terrorist. Yeah, so I don't know. Obviously, he looks black. I don't know if he's Black American, if he is what they're saying. I don't know. They say he's born here, so I don't know. And I don't want to speculate to what he is. But his family is saying that they are Muslims, so that could mean a whole lot of stuff, right? My dad's Muslim, but he's Black American as well. So
cooking with Kaya. Oh, anyway, sorry, sorry, but no. I mean, we keep sorry about the squeaking. That's Benny running around. We keep debating about, does he look black? Whatever. If you guys had no problem with Kamala Harris being black and she's Indian, what's the difference with this guy?
Oh, yeah, I do. I mean, I've kind of seen a little bit of back and forth about what he is and what he is not and all this. I'm like, I don't even know, right? And Neve says we need to start questioning this stuff instead of running and ducking and hiding, especially if you have loved ones in the service. These people are basically cosplaying the real issues like usual here. Yeah, I mean, I definitely we could question it's just where we question it, right? I think that's kind of what I'm saying. And Valerie, it says you are your children's best friend when you are the parent first. Okay, got it. Daryl, how you doing? Says they're shutting down most of the black-owned gun stores. Yeah, well, if they are, you can go to them other people's store, right? Panther, you say his parents are immigrants. So say are they immigrants? So yeah, I didn't get too much detail as to who he is. Dear self, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Say his dad is Middle Eastern. Yeah, he looks like it. To me, he looks like he's Middle Eastern. So okay, so he's born here, but parents are immigrants. Got it. Makes sense. Okay, so Anton, the son God, you say on racial differences, what do you think they're going to do that they're down here socioeconomically with everyone else? And in regards to what, can you expound on that a little bit? Tracy says, I didn't know what it was when they showed his face. I mean, he looked like he was Middle Eastern, but I don't know. You know what I mean? But thank y'all for telling me that. Thunder says initial report stated that he was first generation. There you go. Okay, yeah, because they keep on trying to link him as far as being, I don't know, maybe Black American. CJ says, laugh out loud, Benny, this weather is sheer sign for us to do so too. JJ Mars, you says they're using this tragedy to deflect from the MAGA civil wars. Yeah, and unfortunately, it kind of has, right? Let's see. Who else is on here? I skipped up. Let's see. Jive Turkey, how you doing? Says I heard his dad is Moroccan. Okay, got it. So now we're getting a little bit more information. Tracy said, who is y'all, Donovan? And Al says, hey, Donovan, even Reggie, the black kid on Friday the 13th, part 4, took off running when he saw Jason while the white girl stood there. Oh, we gonna run.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So as William said, they're from Morocco. And Arad, if I didn't already, how you doing? Say, I think he's Pakistani. Yeah, that's kind of how he looks to me too, as a Middle Eastern. FBA baby boomer said it's called tsunami. Yeah, it's that old age. Half the time, I don't even know what I walked into to a room for. I have to sit there and be like, "What did I come in here for?" And then it'll come to me. Valerie says you can be FBA and Muslim Israelites lineage makes you okay. Michelle said he looks Somali. Yeah, somewhere along those lines. Larry says you don't understand what I'm saying. Is why they refuse to call a white American person. Well, come on now, you know why. You know why they refuse to do that. Listen. This country was made and established and fashioned every word you can think of to benefit them. It was never made to benefit us. They not, and if they are, they have called their people that, but they try their hardest because they even said the dude that did that to the Tesla was a Trump supporter. So, but because this is their country, they're not gonna call their people that. They didn't call them terrorists when they was terrorizing our ancestors on them plantations either. So that's why. It ain't got nothing to do with us. We know what they are. But they not going to call their own people that. CJ says, here in North Carolina, too, I used to work in a grocery store, and the first is when no one wants to work. Yeah, I can imagine. John Galt, how you doing? Says, can anyone join the panel? Let's see how much time we got here. Let me see. I may share it today. Let's see. And our Negroes, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. He says, I felt like this is all to distract us from the Robert Brooks murder. Well, I feel like we're already distracted. It didn't take Robert Brooks being murdered there in New York in that correctional facility, Marcy correctional facility. It didn't take for him to distract us. We are already distracted. We're distracted by it could be Cardi B. It could be, somebody gossiping and doing something here. And we're distracted. We're distracted by everything. So I don't think it took, I don't know. I just don't think that what happened in New Orleans is distracting us from that because we could walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. I think we need to be a little bit more selective as to what we give attention to Because like for me, if I talk about things that may seem a little gossipy, I'm really trying to draw a point to it, not the gossip like, oh, I had heard, not because I'm not a gossiper, right? But I think we're already distracted and by a whole lot of stuff. And we need to not be that. Thank you, Miss Weeks, for reminding people to hit the like and share and all that. Thank you, thank you. Jive Turkey says, what did he identify as? What's on his birth certificate? I don't know, but I know he was married to 3 sisters. They look like 3 sisters to me anyway. Angela, how you doing? Happy New Year to you as well. It says the ultimate father in the home is our heavenly father. Okay. Thunder says tidal wave is shallow water tsunami or originate from deep water. Yeah, I knew it was had to do something with some water. Let's see. K Dog said, let us Black Americans stop trying to be white. And come on now, 2025, stay away from these evil peoples. Try to shop Black as much as possible, right? Al says, question, how do the white people in New York or New Year's Eve in Times Square don't get killed, but the Black people in New Orleans do? Well, again, it wasn't just Black people in New Orleans that got killed. It was people from all walks of life that got killed by that terrorist attack. It wasn't just Black people. It was Black people too. So, but to that point in Vegas, there was a lot of white people that got killed at that country and western concert as well. When that dude took all that arsenal to the hotel and fired down on them. So I don't know. I don't think it has anything to do with us specifically.
But isn't that crazy how a man could bring all that ammunition and nobody questions him? But you let a Black person have a box of Cracker Jacks and they want to know what's in the box.
Again, because they trust their own. They don't think their own. Just like in a lot of the white schools, right? They don't have metal detectors, and that's where they need them. They got them in our schools, right? Where our children go. But it's like, I don't know. I can't think of the last time. I'm not saying there never was one, so don't quote me because I know people be. But I can't think of the last time where there was, a school shooting in a predominantly what they call a mass shooting, right? In a predominantly Black school. But they got the metal detectors there. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Negro says, why put an ISIS flag on a rental truck? Well, they're saying that he somehow was connected to ISIS. They're still trying to figure that out. But yeah, he says, I'm curious how war on terror is changing complexion with this New Orleans incident. Well, the media is owned by them. So, of course, they'll try to fashion that as to now, oh, it's Black men doing that. But they know the truth. But the thing is, do we know the truth? As long as we know the truth, because they told us a whole lot of things. They told our ancestors slavery was all right. That what you were. So if we're going to continue to listen to them, then yeah, we need to rearrange our understanding. But it's what do we know to be the truth?
I have a question though. See now, do you see how everybody is as antiquating things with the Al Qaeda flag and all, whatever that is, Taliban, whatever you want. I think it's Al Qaeda flag, whatever the deal is, and it was put on the back of the truck or whatever. Isn't that suspect alone right there to give you the inclination? Do you see how they want you to think a certain way? So what if he has a Al Qaeda flag on there? That doesn't mean Al Qaeda. I mean, what if he had a Jimmy Carter bumper sticker on there? Why aren't we saying, wow, is Jimmy Carter involved in this and somehow? But do you see how strong propaganda is in the world when you could fix a narrative?
Yep, do good. He says, sister, can you advise sisters to stop vacationing at some of these European and Asian countries, please? America and Africa have many beautiful places to visit as tourists. Yeah, I have no interest in going to Europe. I did go to Japan with Donovan and my daughter about 2 years maybe ago. It was last year, 2022. We went 2022. I had an amazing experience. I think when you should do some research as to what's a good place to go and what's not a good place to go. Of course, the United States, they put out travel advisories and tell you what's good, what's going on, this, that, and the other. But I think more importantly, sisters shouldn't really be traveling by themselves, especially the places they have no knowledge of, right? That's when you end up getting in trouble. So yeah, definitely don't go by yourself. TG Hamilton, how you doing? Says it's just common sense, common sense, street smarts to me, no large crowds, and where's the exit? Yep. But come on now, how many people go somewhere and they don't even look at the exits or nothing? They just go and sit down, and then God forbid something crazy happen. So we have to really be vigilant. 7 Cent, how you doing? He says they were looking for brown guys before they found Timothy McVeigh. They probably were. Of course, that was the Oklahoma bombing. And Regil, how you doing? Says Black First FBA 100. Yes, indeed. And John Doe says in America, we are distracted from the get. Yeah, it don't take nothing major to distract us. If they said Beyonce just went in the middle of the street and did a twirl and went in the house, people gonna talk about it. You know, I know what you mean. Get go. And Jesse, how you doing? He says, B1 salute, Auntie Demetra. Donovan, Buckhorse, Maz, yes indeed. And Harley, how you doing? Long time no see. Hope you're doing well. John, you says in America, we are distracted from the get-go. Yes. And Larry says February 4th, we will be protesting at the Capitol in Albany, New York. Everyone needs to come to help stop the racist killing of Black American people. So are you doing that due to Robert Brooks? Is that why you're doing the protesting, if you don't mind me asking?
And let me add this real quick. I'm all for the protesting and stuff like that, but I think protesting had its time in the 60s and it's very, very ineffective. Wouldn't it be more effective to vote in politicians that are going to address these issues? That's what they're there for. They're there to represent us in problems of whatever and things of that within the government, our taxes and our money. Protesting, and I'm just going to be honest, and I'm not like trying to say it doesn't work. That's what you guys choose to do. That's what you guys choose to do. As long as you're protesting, so what? So what? Doesn't matter. It looks good, but what is it going to do? What is it going to do? And all the protesting that we've been doing since the early 2000s, why has it gotten worse for us? We protest all the damn time. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying, wouldn't it be more effective if we try a different strategy and say, you politicians that aren't addressing these issues, you need to go. When George Floyd got choked out and murdered, I didn't see one Hispanic politician speak out. I didn't see one Asian politician speak out. I barely saw a white politician speak out, and I barely saw any Black politicians speak out. But we were protesting all over the damn place.
Alex says, Cedric the Entertainer said on Kings of Comedy, Black people get out of the way when trouble is coming. You and Donovan would have took off if you saw a truck speeding your way. Well, I just feel like Monday morning quarterbacking is, I don't think it's fair in that situation, because I don't think any of those people who showed up there thought that was going to happen. They probably saw the truck and didn't think that, like, I wouldn't thought that was going to happen. I wouldn't think somebody was going to step on it as hard and fast as they could and do that, right? And it said it really happened so fast. I mean, more and more people would have gotten harmed if they didn't get out of the way. So really to say that, oh, I would have got out of the way, it's always easy to say that when you ain't in the way in the first place. But again, those people who are harmed, because there's a lot of more people who are harmed. In like times we think, oh, people got hurt. We think, oh, they just got a little scratch, and there's some people who are horribly harmed still. But, you know, I'm just one of those people, definitely there, but for the grace of God, there go I. And I never want to speculate on what I would have, could have, should have did, and something like that, because you never know. It could be you, you know. So we never want to, well, what I would have did, you would have never even saw. A lot of people, those people probably never saw it coming, you know. So Black, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Raven, what's going on? Says, even when the white domestic terrorists were climbing the Capitol walls like zombies, you crazy. Says the government never called them terrorists, traitors, or any other anti-American name. No, and they really don't, even to this degree, right? And they're going to be pardoned soon. Easy says, I agree. I notice how they cover up the flag on the truck. Yes, and Micaiah, how you doing? I hope I said that right. It said it's all suspect to me. And Jamie, you said someone just did a whole podcast on how much the man who ran those people down hated Black women and wanted revenge. Well, yeah, he was married to 3 of them. That's what I saw. I don't know if they look Black to me, but it sounds like he had very troubled relationships. And they said that was kind of part of his family said they saw a change in him due to the dilapidation of his last marriage. Haru, how you doing? It says, suspect, why would he put heat on his people? Okay. Callie, Nola, how you doing? So are you from California and New Orleans? Says, I want to know where his parents are from. I don't believe this man is black at all. They're saying he's Middle Eastern. He's first generation. So from what they're saying here in the comment section, Eunice says, I'm glad they do. They try to put a cursing on our kids by having the metal detectors, but they actually protect it now without knowing. Yeah. And it's racist for them to do it, and to think that their children, oh, they're just going to go to school and they're not going to do anything wrong. It's like, yeah, I'd be more scared at their schools than I would ever would be ours. Jesse says, gotta have situational awareness. Come on out is essential. My people, wherever you go, always look for exits. Yep. Easy says, try to keep your back to the wall so you can see what's around you while you're out and about. Yep.
Could I interject this right here? Has anybody noticed that as the wage gap increases and the rich people keep getting richer and richer, and people of normal caliber are getting squeezed and squeezed, and we're even getting squeezed now like a sandwich, because now you got the illegal migrants that are here that are taking jobs and keeping the wages low, and the rich people are like, it's never been great. The economy's never been greater. Have you guys noticed how people are losing it more and more and more? Is there a correlation to what is going on with the money versus, what's, I really feel that's a lot to do with it, where people, when you get to a point to where you have nothing to lose because they've taken everything from you, we're going to have more and more of these incidences until we stand up and start getting people that are going to give us a fair and equitable system to work within. You just can't have this. And I know we like to pat ourselves about, I'm middle class, I'm upper middle class, I'm lower middle class. That's all BS. Either you got the money or you don't. That is where we're at in America. We've normalized corruption. We're seeing all these politicians going in there with almost no money, Cory Bush as an example, coming out $30 million value. And the average person, they are losing their minds, be it through drugs and all this other stuff. Is there a correlation with that? Let's look at the root of the problem. I'm a firm believer that if everybody is working, and I'm not a socialist, what I'm saying is everybody's being dealt with fairly, like in the 1950s in this country. You didn't see any of this crap going on. In the 1960s, you had the civil unrest with the civil rights movement. That's a different thing because that has to do with racism. But in general, when people are working and they're thriving and they can provide for their families and they see a future, they don't arbitrarily go out and want to run people over and just do crazy things. So why aren't we addressing that? But, it seems like we're so distracted. We're like, well, here's this and here's that. Let's get at the root of the problem. I'm a firm believer, if a person is making, let's just say right now, I live in California. If a person in California is making $80,000, they're happy to make those $80,000 because they're able to buy things and do things and live a decent life. It is so bad because the fact of the matter is right now, Demetra, and I don't care if anybody believes this or not, and I'm going by the white statistic because when you're black, we're just where we're at. The white statistic says this is the first generation of children that is projected not to do better than their parents.
That's my feeling. Says, how many days, and how you doing, by the way? He says, how many days until Letitia James arrested 14 criminals that deleted our brother Brooks? Let's keep count. She's not. And she actually released a statement today saying that it's out of her jurisdiction. She's going to let another office handle this. She says, because in all fairness, they do some defending of correctional officers as well. So she says they're removing themselves out of the way to let somebody else outside of them do the investigation. So yeah, she's not going to do it, but she said they're watching it closely and they've handed it off. I know the FBI, if I'm not mistaken, I think they're involved or something. I don't know, but she says that her office is not going to do it because it would kind of be a conflict of interest. But she has been very clear that they will be brought to justice. So I hope that helps. I don't know if that's true. I'm just telling you what she said. And Alicia, how you doing? You says we also need those who call out foolery such as you and Demetra. Thank you. Leroy Brown, how you doing? His name is not ours. Okay. Welcome anyway. All right, let me go down. The average logical thinker says, yeah, these days I kind of wish I had my kid in my 20s instead of late 30s because this world is bad. Yep. On Code TV, how you doing? No reparation, no vote. What's going on with you? Tricia says, don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you. The Art of Today says, yes, people are waxing cold as biblical prophecy. Oh, yes. Um, Larry says everyone is still voting works for Black Americans people. It doesn't work for Black Americans people. We need to an all Black party to vote because the Democratic Party is racist to Black people. Yeah, and I want to say this to you, Larry. Yes, I don't necessarily have a problem with protesting, but yeah, it should be how we protest. We should protest with our dollars. We suck our money out of this racist economy, then that's when we are going to see some traction. That's what they did back in the day, Martin Luther King and Selma bus boycott and a whole host of other things. They said we're not going to spend any money with this racist bus system that wants our people to sit in the back, right? Want our women and children to get up to let any and everybody who's white to sit down. They said we're going to suck our money out of there. But as Dr. Claude Anderson also tells, unfortunately, they also boycotted the black bus company that was also up and running. So we can protest with our money. And I see you often too talk about the athletes and stuff like that. As Farrakhan said, they are highly paid slaves and they're more than likely not going to do that. So that's got to be on us, the people who are sick of seeing what we're seeing. When we stop spending money, because let me tell you something. Look how they organized, or they tried to anyway. I knew it was going to go over like a lead balloon. But when Kamala didn't get in office, you heard all these, Black women and people who were mad Kamala didn't get in. They was boycotting Walmart, because of the DEI. And all, they was shutting Walmart down. You even had, all this group economics talking. And maybe I just haven't seen. I don't know if they're not doing it, but I haven't seen. I haven't heard anybody talk about it or anything like that. So we get mad temporarily, and then we go on about our life. So Robert Brooks, he won't be the last. He wasn't the first. They're all horrible. But we need to make up in our mind, when are we going to have enough? When are we really going to send a message to white supremacy that you can no longer think it's all right to choke and beat and do all the heinous things you did to that brother and think you're going to go clock in and go lay down with your wife after you eating her nasty ass casserole. We need to get tired of that. See, when we get tired of that, then they start saying, okay, and I don't remember who it was that said it, but they said, imagine if every Black person that could get life insurance got life insurance. And then when they start killing people, our people wholesale, and the life insurance companies have to start paying out all that money, they're going to go to Washington themselves and say, I'm sorry, we're paying out too much money due to this racist system. We need y'all to stop killing Black people because we got to cash out all these life insurance policies. They said it would probably stop immediately because it's going to cost them something. So yeah, we can have boots on the ground. We can picket, holler, and scream, but the easiest way and the most silent way to do it is keep your Black dollars in your Black pocket or with Black businesses. That's how you protest, because don't nothing move. What? Without the money. And Black Americans got a lot of it. Some say almost $2 trillion, but we give most of that away. So when we stop doing that, when we start saying, I don't need the Gucci, the Uchi, the Louis, and all that other stuff, then people start saying, oh, our pockets is getting a little light. Because Black Americans, they not shopping. They only buying what they need, or they buying from their own people. Then they start saying, well, what seems to be the problem? Because that's how civil rights got started. They didn't care about us having no civil rights. They cared about our money because we were separated, right? Yeah, it was racism and stuff, but we were truly separated people. I don't care if it was a peanut. We bought it from our people. And white supremacy was like, damn, they got a lot of money that we could use. So let's pretend like we like the Negro, but we want to get their money. And we ain't been unified since. Because as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, you cannot have civil rights unless you have human rights. And this system of white supremacy ain't never saw the Black man and a woman in America as a human, and they still don't. Because speaking of Robert Brooks, how do you do to what you did to him and think of him as a human? They didn't think of him as a human, but guess what? They know we going to get mad for a week or two, and the minute Cardi B shake her fake ass in somewhere, then we go, oh, you see Cardi B, they know that's how we set up. So we got to stop being distracted. We got to get serious, because if we're not serious now, when will we ever get serious? Until what? They take the last of our lives. They continue to choke the breath from the last Black man and woman in America's body. When do we get serious? So that's how we protest. Afro Troop, how you doing? I hope you are doing well. Woo! All right, let me skip down to the bottom. Acknowledging everybody have not seen. You gotta chill. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Uh H2O, how you doing? Says all I know is about to be interesting. Just grab your popcorn. Yeah, no, not too much of it though. Raven says black people will never get America's attention on our issues until we boycott collectively. Without man, why I didn't just read your comment? With $2 trillion economy on a consistent basis, the sad part is merchants. No, we are addicted to spending and buffoonery. Our loot is our power. Come on, I should have read your comment. Venting my truth. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Tammy, what is going on with you? Says vote her out when or if she runs again. And who is that? By the way, is that Letitia James? Is that what
James? Yeah, Letitia James.
Afro Diasporan, how you doing? Happy New Year to you as well. Says great to see the show first week of 2025. Yes, it is, huh? Leroy Brown says I decided that damn doesn't break my cussing. Oh, you had a oath to not cuss. I did too, and I say the first couple of hours of New Year's Day I cussed, so I have to start over for next year. Jesse says Letitia James is a waste of time, space, and energy. She's not going to do anything. Yeah, she passed it off to somebody else, and that was a statement. She said that, in all fairness, they couldn't because they've, I guess, represented correctional officers, and 4 of the officers already are being sued, I guess, for brutalization. But the other question is, why are they still working there if they're being sued for brutalizing people already? You know what I mean? That's where the flaw is. Easy says politicians advocate for people once they become rich and turn into boule immediately. Okay. Nubian Cutie says, and when that starts, that's when I'm ready to talk. Okay. Miss Sweet says we was boycotting Walmart, yeah, for like 3 minutes, and then now they was boycotting. You know what? I'm gonna tell you this. Now, listen, I'm gonna say this, and I ain't gonna say nothing else. They did more damage. When I say they, y'all know who I say. Because as I always say, no one hates a black woman like a black woman. They did more damage to Cooking with Kaya than they did Walmart. And
I love that little girl. I love that little girl. She can cook those steaks and stuff that she been making. Oh my God. Mwah.
Hey, James Dean says we got to unify and leave our religion out of it. Yeah, I'm just saying they did more damage to her than they did Walmart, and she was just doing her thing, not harming nobody. But the sisterhood, and I'm gonna say that lightly, sisterhood got together and they decided they were gonna, they done leaked it. Not they, but I guess one of her boyfriends leaked the sex tape, and it's just a whole bunch of madness. They got her page shut down a couple of times. They just took her through a lot because of hate. So you organizing against this one black woman, but Walmart, y'all was walking tall and talking tough for 2 minutes, I guess. Dear self, dear self said, I just want our own black economy in the communities and only deal with them when it's absolutely necessary. I don't want to mingle with them, and I know their sentiments are the same. Yeah, they want our money. They don't want us. Nubian Cutie says, boycott everything. Yeah, except for our own people. Al says, I remember hearing about a story on the 2 black men who escaped from Jonestown. Yeah, there was a few of them that escaped from Jim Jones's madness, but there unfortunately wasn't a lot of them that did, and he took a lot of our people with him. You got to chill says, I didn't know folks were trying to boycott Walmart. Yeah. I did a story on African National Channel. Because Walmart was getting rid of their DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. They weren't going to be separating black products away from everybody else's products. So they were mad. They were going to Target. It's like, you big dummy. Target is just as racist. Google Target and racism, and you'll see a whole lot of stories, but I guess, they're just pissed off for the moment. Yeah, get you some life insurance, and those life insurance companies going to start talking to Congress real tough. Hero, you said, shit, they denied my brother life insurance policy. Yeah, some of us going to get denied just depending on what it is we doing, right, or not doing. But imagine if some of us, most of us that could get life insurance got it, and, and they keep choking out wrong people pen. You know what? I'm going to leave you on here so you can be tortured. But I'm not, this ain't your country. And I'd imagine you probably white. I don't know what you are, but this ain't your country. Okay. Let me, you show me the pink slip to this country that belongs to you. And then I leave. Do good says at least retain a 1 trillion in the hands of Black Americans. Yeah, we got to keep it. Sharice, how you doing? Says vote with your dollars. Come on now. Uh, Penn, he's my he or she or it. It seems to be a fan of mine. How you like my hair today, Penn? You like my hair? I didn't even comb it. I just put it up in a poof. But I hope you like it. Afro
It reminds me of the Queen in Alien, that little crown.
Yes. I didn't feel like doing nothing to it. I was like, I ain't gonna come on here looking like Miss Seeley, so I didn't even pick it all the way through. It just, forgive me. You guys, I'll be better on Sunday. Afro Troop says, let the enemy's life insurance pay out them and theirs. Yeah, they co-sign all that nonsense, so let's get life insurance. We should have it anyway, right? GoFundMe is not a life insurance policy. Igna, how you doing? It says, as they call Black people broke, make it make sense. And she makes sense. Yeah, they call us broke. I mean, it's not what you, well, it is what you make, but that's a lot of times it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And we don't keep. We keep 3% of that money. Right? Imagine if we kept 97%, giving 3% away. I'd imagine, I don't know what the Asian community does, but I guarantee you they don't give 97% of their money away. And they're considered to be the wealthiest class of Americans, here in America. So,
yeah, Dimitri, I kind of talked about that on my show the other day, and I was talking about how we push our children to go to college, and you got to get an education and to compete in some of these really high level jobs, because without a bachelor's degree or whatever, you can't even apply, right? And I was saying on the show, basically, we know that our kids need a college education. But the first thing that we do and we tell them to do is go get a FAFSA or go get a loan and go into debt. But all those years that the kid was going to school, we as parents, we did not do anything to facilitate them moving on into their college years. So, and what I mean by that is most of us don't have a car. If you're coming out of the hood or whatever, you don't have a car, you don't have savings. You get to school, it has been proven, and it's a fact. Most Black students, when they do go to college, they spend 50% of their time, number one, worrying about if they're going to be there next semester and if they're going to have the money to attend school the next semester. So they spend a lot of their time trying to gather the money to stay in school. Sad.
Yeah. Carlton, he says getting insurance is a trick. Why would they honor the policy? Well, they have to honor the policy, and I used to sell life insurance. I don't sell it anymore, but I used to hear that objection a lot. Oh, well, they ain't going to honor the policy. Listen, if a life insurance company is in the habit of not honoring policies out of chicanery or whatever, they're going to go out of business, right? And there's a lot of regulatory entities that make sure they don't do that. But yeah, they would go out of business if they didn't honor the policy, because people would stop doing business with them. So for the most part, they do honor the policy unless you were in the contestability period and you found to be lying about something or whatever. But usually after the 2-year contestability period, they I don't know if that's okay. Donovan was going out. Okay. BJ said they only wanted to integrate the dollar. They got our dollar, so in their world, all is good. Yep. Yeah, Fed, how you doing? Says that's how Black Friday gets started. Absolutely. Okay, who else is on here? We're gonna get out here. James Dean. You say it's a mindset. Once that change, we win collectively. Yep. Al says that's a pipe dream of Black people to stop buying designer stuff. I remember you told me about a documentary called How to Sell to the Negro. How to Sell to the Negro Market or something like that is what it's called. You can watch it on YouTube. It's diabolical if you ask me. And we fell right into it. But we just gotta. But honestly, like I said, if you watch the Century of the Self, it talks about how Americans in general became consumeristic, and we as Black people got sucked into the ideology of, well, if Miss Ann has it, I want to have it too. Instead of doing the stuff we doing, because Miss Ann trying to do the stuff we doing. Okay. Easy said the Mr. Brooks family about to get paid. They will not give them both money and justice. Letitia is the attorney general of the state and was told to stand down. They created a technicality to take AG out. Yeah, there's a lot of people watching, and I don't think one thing I believe, I don't think black people are gonna sit back and let them say nothing we could do. We saw what happened. That man was handcuffed, so they know they got to make a move, right? They have to do something, and it's not something Trump could pardon if that's what he would want to do. It's a state issue, and I want to say it's a blue state. Just want to throw that out there. Shay, how you doing? Says we have to get it together and unite like yesterday, right? Michelle says I've told my kids for years to avoid large crowds. I think things are about to get worse. Come on now, which is partially why we were told to avoid large crowds back in the day, right? Says we don't know who crossed the border. Yep, and you can thank you better thank the Democrats for that. Leroy says Boule and Buck broken enemies. Yep. Valerie says don't just talk about that AG, but also that the governor. They like I said, it's a blue state. They went hard in the paint after Trump, didn't they? But yet they need to have the same energy with these 13 guards and one nurse who sat back and chuckled and watched. You know what I mean? They have that same energy. Don't think but the thing is though, some of this is on us because they know we got a short memory. We gonna be mad, and then tomorrow we gonna be glad. About something that we get distracted. So some of this is on us. We gotta stop getting distracted.
A good example would be like some of these mass murders that happened in the 60s. I'm going to use the Manson family as an example. The Sharon Tate, LaBianca murders, right? These people became eligible for parole after a certain time after their death sentences were overturned, right? So they had to spend life in prison with the possibility of parole. Those white folks that were the victims of that and lost loved ones, they made sure most of those people stayed in jail. They showed up every parole meeting and whatever and said, no, do not let this person out. Susan Smith in South Carolina, her ex-husband, he showed up and is like, no, do not let her out. Us as Black people,
well, I would say in a lot of cases we do. We do. I don't want to run us all the way low. I just think collectively, especially when it comes to bigger issues, we need to stop being so distracted and so ununified, right? And Black ICE, how you doing? Says Operation Protect Whitey. They know to send them to prison would be a death penalty. Yeah, but they got to go. You got to go. You ain't special. You're not an officer no more. You an inmate. You need to be an inmate. Michael Smith, how you doing? Says we cannot love with any other race. We have no friends in the world, just us. Come on now. Internationally known, how you doing? Says I've been to Wally World yesterday and I had no idea there was a boycott. Yeah. I know y'all think I'm making this up, but they was going hard in the paint. And then, like I said, Kaya came along, and then they just ran off the rails with her. And Mad Dog says all of this ish is racist. Yep. Easy says we love to drink that Christian Kool-Aid. Got you, Donovan. So G, how you doing? He says depends on the store and location they react to what's stolen the most. Okay, so I don't know what you probably was referring to, Donovan. Facts Not Feeling says been shopping directly from China for years. The apps you talking about Alibaba? I know that's a good one. Afro Trooper says anyone who defects to Ghana is not worthy of our respect or approbation. I mean, I don't have a problem. Somebody wants to move to Ghana. They're welcoming Black American citizens over there for citizenship. If you want to go, I mean, I understand why people want to leave. Hey, Andre, because they tired of this mess. On one hand, we get mad at people. And I'm not saying this about you, but we get mad at people for wanting to leave. But then we don't try to help fix what's going on here. We won't unify. We won't unify here. But then we get mad at people who are blowing this joint, going to Africa. Like how can we be mad at them? Are we gonna finally unify and stop fighting on every damn thing that ain't nailed down? Or I mean, I just think it's unfair to be mad at them. People are just tired. They're like, I just can't do it anymore. I'm leaving. So I'm not mad at them. Ernest, how you doing? Says, well, thank you. I appreciate you for that. African diaspora says these white Americans saying leave, come through Ellis Island. Meanwhile, Black Americans have been here since before the British got here and built America and its culture, language, food, music, etc. Yeah, I ain't thinking about him. they obviously love me and they cannot stand not to be here. So let them suffer. Miss B, how you doing? Long time no see. I see I'm really behind, so I'm gonna have to go to the bottom because we about to get out of here, and I gotta work out again. Walter Davis, what's going on? Says Dimitri, I'm a fan of yours too. Well, thank you. He says your hair is always nice because it seems like you like the natural look. I'm here for. Yeah, I like the natural look. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Sometimes I'm like, let me just cut this all the way down and give me a Halle Berry or, a pixie cut, but then my head is too big now. Facts Not Feeling says blacks need to stop calling each other broke in this white supremacy system. White supremacy keeps us broke with policies and laws, so we look silly calling blacks broke. We not broke. We just misappropriate our funds. We don't do the right thing with them. So we broke because we want to be. Perry says, I have a college education and AAS degree in criminology and forensic technology and still can't get a job. Yeah, because now they're giving them the Habib and them.
Yeah, and how many of us got all that debt, got a master's degree, and the job that you apply for, they want to pay you $11 an hour?
Yeah, not gonna happen. I'd rather collect cans. Okay, so let's see. Star Child. He says Nipsey Hussle had to set up STEM labs in the hood to teach kids how to code. Then folks couldn't let that continue. Yeah, and they said that South Central, especially where he was at, Slauson area, it's just going even more downhill. And he and his brother Sam and everyone else, they were really doing great things over there. And they said now it's just starting to, and it's unfortunate. But yeah, that's why they took Nipsey out.
Yeah, and you also got to think the gentrification that's going on in the area. So that's all by design. All of that is by design. If you do not live in California, I keep saying this is the blueprint of what could happen to your neighborhood and what they're going to do. Do not let these Hispanics and Asians run on your city council and then take over the city council, because just like here in Los Angeles, what happened? The Hispanics were caught colluding to break up the black communities and neighborhoods that were left. And that's what they're going to do, where you have no political voice. And if you don't have a political voice in this country, you might as well be a slave.
And the contextualist, how you doing? It says, where has this been reported? And what is that exactly? I'm sorry. Therese Neal, I see you really like Trump. Okay, great. Internationally known says we can't unite because they always target our leaders. Yeah, but they can't target all of us. And we the leaders. We all need to be the leaders, right? Okay, Samuel C says, I never like being around large crowds, and what happened in New Orleans is the reason why. Yep, yeah, you and me both. T says, can you imagine how disappointed Donald Trump have been when he found out the person who exploded the Tesla was an Army sergeant? Trump probably could give two damns about any of that, to be honest with you. CJ says, preach, Miss D. Black folks are fussing about Mississippi Valley State ban when that energy should be for that matter in New York.
I'll even go you one better. Instead of supporting these young people who can play an instrument, not a lot of people can play instruments in the world left anymore. Instead of supporting these young people to perform, because that's why they're in the band, they want to perform and go to the White House. You have no problem donating to Kamala Harris, who ain't going to do nothing for you. She told you that. But then these young people need money to get to the performance and and their expenses and stuff. We won't donate to that, but we'll donate to Kamala Harris, all this other stuff. So I'm saying our priorities are all screwed up.
Leroy says FBAs are the elite of us. I don't recognize anyone who wants Pan-Africanism or whiteness. I mean, y'all know me. I don't get involved in the FBA or any of that other stuff. I'm a Black American. I understand the concept. I understand ADOS. I understand all of that. None of this is new. But I try not to get too much into that. But I get it. Because I think people should do whatever makes them happy. They do what you want to do, because I ain't paying your bills or none of that. Like I said, America, as far as, we are concerned, like I said, Black people fighting with this group of Black people. And I'm even talking about even within Black American community, we fighting with each other. And so we mad because people want to get out of here. I don't know. I just think it's weird. Chantel, how you doing? He says, we really need to stop speaking on us. Okay. Corey, how you doing? Says 2025 already a mess. Okay. Queen B, how you doing? Says when I'm out of the country, I don't have as much anxiety. I would say the same thing. Sherman, how you doing?
DR, unless we're in the DR.
Right, I almost got snatched up in the DR. I won't be going back there. Sherman, how you doing? Says we need to love ourselves and stop forgiving others who hurt us. Yep. Frank, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Intuitively wise says maybe I'm wrong. I don't think people can take that image of the beating of out of our mind. It brings back too many memories. Yeah, and we shouldn't take that out. Imagine him. Imagine what he was going through as they, from what we saw on camera anyway, pummeled him for over 15 minutes. We don't know what they did to him off the camera, but we saw what they did to him on there. So imagine being him. Now imagine being him, and imagine somewhere in the back of your mind, you're like, I'm probably going to die, and I'm not going to, my people aren't going to do anything. Imagine having that happen to you and thinking they're doing this to me because my people want to argue about the time of day at 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Imagine that happening to you and knowing that you'll just be another, say his name. Imagine that. Imagine all the things that was going through his mind. And the next time Jay-Z gets accused of something, or Puffy or whoever, whatever, we're going to get distracted with that. So we owe it to him and everybody else that have been lynched, because that's what that was, to actually do something. Now, I'm not saying, rise up and do nothing crazy, but like, well, we rise up and keep our money out of their hands. How about that? We could do that. Just saying. Chantel says we need to stop speaking on us, regurgitating what others keep saying. We not this and we not that. Cursing ourselves. I agree with you. I really do. Queen Bee says we buy fake hair and fake nails. Yeah, they do, not me. Dear Self, it says, Dimitri, anyone else who was beaten by law officials and victims of white supremacy who are worthy of black folks, I sympathize with. But this guy was a waste. He was in jail for stabbing up his black girlfriend. But, I hear what you're saying, but he was serving his time. He got sentenced to 12 years. He got sentenced to 12 years in 2017. So he was serving his time. Nowhere in his judgment, when they gave him his sentence, did they say that those correctional officers could be judge, jury, and executioner. That was not his sentence. His sentence was time, not that. In fact, New York don't even have the death penalty. So, to say, as far as I know, they don't. I could be wrong, but to justify them doing that to him because of what he did, he was already sentenced and serving his time for that. I just cannot even put that in the same realm at all, because I think he deserved to get what he was sentenced to. That was not their job to do that. Their job is to make sure inmates are doing what they supposed to be doing. Nobody escapes. Everybody get, whatever they supposed to get on their little tray for lunch and, breakfast and dinner, whatever. But that, no. So Jaden Daniels' story out there. So Jaden Daniels, I guess he's a football player for the Commanders. I think he's a quarterback. He was sitting at a game with his mother, courtside at a basketball game, and he was on his phone, and you can hear or see his mom saying, "Get off your phone," and he did. So I guess this is another distraction, by the way. Not saying you, Al, but people are saying, "Oh, his mom embarrassed him. Oh, he's embarrassed." And I say it's not embarrassed. He listens to his mom. His mom is also his agent, from what I understand. But regardless if he's 24 or not, his mom has taught him you need to listen to your parents. He got a mom and a dad, by the way, together. But I don't think it's embarrassing. I think it's an honor to, as a grown man, listen to your mom, especially if she's giving you good advice. She's basically saying you're on the teleprompter here. Everybody's watching you. Be present. And he put his phone down, and they went on it with it. But people made this narrative that he's embarrassed. It's like, how do you know he's embarrassed? Did you talk to him? Did he say he was embarrassed? So anyway, all right, we're gonna get out of here. I know you guys got a lot of comments. I'd love to read every last one of them, but I'm gonna be outside in the dark in my workout if I don't leave soon. I'm just reading you guys' comments, trying to acknowledge everybody that has not been acknowledged before. Brother Reggie, how many subscribers do you have so far? Zudi, I hope I said that right. King, how you doing? Says stay away from large crowds. Things happen. Life is not promised. Yeah, be wise. It's our pleasure, Miss Sweets. It is my pleasure to be here. He said he was in jail for assaulting a black woman by poking her multiple times, yes, in her chest and torso. Dimitri was a danger to his community. Yeah, but was that for them to decide to take him out of here? There's a whole lot of people that's a danger to the community. When you get your time served, and that's it. You don't get to improvise and change rules.
Yeah, we've got drug dealers dealing death within our community. I mean, I don't see anybody taking justice within their hands to put those people out of their misery. No, we have a justice system. We got to live by it.
Yes, Brother Samuel. Brother Samuel, you were in Arizona he was on this big giant rock. And he's just like a little tiny person just sitting on a giant rock. I was like, my God, I wouldn't have done that. I'm scared of heights. Anyway, he says, you're right. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad says, stay out of large crowds of white people. Allah asked the minister to be silent as he do his work, the winds to blow on these dry bones. Yep. But people gonna listen one way or the other. And he says, my mom used to say, a son of hard head makes a soft ass. Yep, that is the wisdom, right? Okay, 81. We need to get Brother Reggie to 100 subscribers, please.
Come on, y'all. Brother Reggie
Okay.
has a YouTube page. We need to go over there. Miss Sweet Talks has a YouTube page, and her page started growing quickly. And your average logical thinker, if you guys have a YouTube page and you need support there and subscribers, let us know, put it in the chat, and we will have everybody go over there and join it.
Yes, please. Let's get him to 100 people. Brother Samuel says, I grew up with Jayden Daniels' father and aunts and great grandmother who is from Mississippi. Yeah. I mean, it looks like he has a smart mom and dad. They love him. They're at his ages. They're looking after him and all that. I don't have a problem with her telling him to get off his phone. I don't care if he's 24. Boy, get off your phone. Okay, Mom. See, that kind of goes hand in hand with what we're saying. We have to get to a point where we instill those values in our children from a very young age. Can't wait till they get in junior high and they acting up. High school, you got to do it from the cradle, right? Tell them what you expect out of them in life. Teach them that to be able to take advice. A lot of times these kids that can't take advice. I know what I'm doing. You can't say nothing to me. And then they end up getting in a trick bag, and then they want to call mom and dad. It's like, what did I tell you, black ass? Didn't I tell you? See, my dad, when he got the stuttering, it was over. Okay. And so didn't I tell you to do A, B, C, and D? See, it would have been wise to listen to me the first time. Again, it's not an indictment of the young lady or nothing like that, but I think her mom was issuing that warning. When you're told not to go do something, young people, listen. Because she said that her daughter not went, and when she was told not to go, she would still be here.
Right, but at the same time, you're supposed to be a part of a family, be it on your mother's side, be it on your father's side. When you're out there dressing a certain way, that is people, you're representing your family when you step out. It's like being in the military. And I know everybody's not in the military, but I'm just saying the military has a code of how you're supposed to dress and make your appearance. That black lady that was down in New Orleans, who was the special agent in charge, they just got in her ass for the nose ring she had in because it goes against FBI policy. They just got in her ass about that. I think she was removed. There are standards you're supposed to do. So I don't know about you guys, but as a member of a family, and I love my grandfathers to death, especially on my mother's side. We had a special relationship. I am not going to go out there to do anything to make that man look bad. And that's what we have to get back to.
Yeah, so y'all, if y'all can go and subscribe to all these wonderful people, Miss Sweets, Pop. Let's see who else. The average logical thinker, of course, Brother Reggie. And anybody, Donovan, of course, and anybody else who has a channel, just say follow me, please. So we can, do what we gotta do. And Tracy says, Brother Reggie, are you gonna get beat up by the kids again in class? So anyway, Ernest says the system has already declared war on us, and a war you must defend. So Donovan, I'm gonna let you take us out of here.
Just real quickly before we go, how many of you guys have Uncle Clarence, who was a Vietnam vet, or he was a Desert Storm vet or whatever, right? And for some reason he won't do his VA stuff or whatever, and maybe Uncle Clarence made some bad decisions out there, and he's near homeless, or he's about to be homeless, or whatever the deal is. There is a program that the VA has, and it's called basically a combat pension. And if that loved one of yours basically served one day in a combat environment or something like that, there's a pension he can get. It isn't as much as 100% disability, but it isn't based on physicality, on any injuries. It's based on his combat pension. And of course, it's based on his financial amount of money that he's bringing in. So if you have an Uncle Rufus or a relative that is a military veteran and they're homeless out there and they're not making any money and they're not working, but they possibly could have been in a combat situation in the 80s, El Dorado, if they were out there during the Beirut bombings. All they need is 1 day. And if you guys apply for this, I believe it's like, I think the max of it, don't quote me, but you got to look at it. It's about $1,800 a month. And it's not based on physicality. It's based on combat experience, and it's called a combat pension. They can apply for that. So again, I'm bringing this information out because the most homeless people in the United States are Black Americans, mostly Black women and children. But however, there is nobody in this country more patriotic than Black people. And so a lot of those people that are out there homeless are veterans. And if they don't want to go through the medical side of the VA and go through those problems, they can go through the combat side and get a combat pension to supplement their situation. There's no reason veterans out here, Black, white, Asian, white, whatever, should be homeless or penniless. So that I want to end it with that.
Absolutely. So yeah, everybody, please go follow everybody. Somebody was asking what are the channels and stuff. I think you guys probably saw that. So yeah, that's that. And we will be back Sunday. I don't even know what time, what day it is. Sometimes I'll be getting confused. Anyway, we'll be back here on Sunday. Love and appreciate every last one of y'all. We also have ways to help and donate to the channel if you see fit. And thank you to my moderators, YouTube, Facebook, Donovan, everybody. Just thank you so much. We love and appreciate you for that. And yeah, definitely stay safe out there because they say tomorrow's not promised to anybody, but we sure can do a lot to avoid not being here tomorrow, right? Keep your head on swivel, stay out of large crowds, and go places where it's a little bit more organized, that you have a chance of surviving if opposed to just going out somewhere where there's a bunch of people that have congregated or whatever the case is. So we'll see you guys on Sunday at 5 p.m. Central Time. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Peace. Hey, Siku, happy New Year to you as well. All right. Bye.